I just made $3,000 profit flipping this side by side, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it. What's up guys, my name is Berger and welcome to another flip video, except this one has 4 wheels. I primarily build and restore 2-stroke dirt bikes, so this is definitely out of my comfort zone, but if we apply the exact same methods that I use when flipping bikes to this, I am confident that we can make a great machine that the next buyer is gonna be extremely happy with, and we can make a few bucks while doing it. You're looking at a 2016 Polaris RZR XP4 1000 that I picked up off Facebook Marketplace for $13,000. Overall, it's in pretty good shape, but if we want to get top dollar, we're gonna have to go through this thing, address any issues, clean it up really nice before we get it listed for sale. Mechanically, this thing is in great shape and works as it should. And that for me was very important when looking to buy this thing because I didn't want to be in over my head trying to repair something major on something that I wasn't too familiar with. I just got done driving this thing around, listening and feeling for anything that was wrong, and this thing is solid. So now the next step is to do kind of a full walk around and see what issues need to be addressed. Right off the bat, we can notice there's actually some cracks here in the front plastic as well as down here on the side. Now, aside from, replacing all this paneling, there's really not a whole lot we can do about it. This side-by-side has the aftermarket front bumper and rear bumper on here. This bash guard on the front's kind of dented in, so we're gonna try to take that off, pound it out, repaint it. If not, we'll go ahead and leave it off. There's some chipped paint on here. Somebody looks like they hit a bird, so we're gonna get that all cleaned up, repainted. And on the rear, actually, if you look, it's pretty tweaked. Someone must have hit it really hard on a tree or I don't even know what would have done that. So we're just gonna go ahead and take that off. This bumper on the left side, as you can see, is missing a bolt, so we're gonna have to push that back up, run a new bolt in there, and that'll be good to go. This thing actually has a 6-inch lift on it. It's got these super ATV arms, which is awesome, but this stock CV axle, it's kind of moving back and forth. This boot is twisted up here, so we're just gonna go ahead and replace that. We're missing a floor plug. The driver's seat belt is actually twisted around, so he's actually got like some computer speakers back here, one here on this side, one over there, and it leads up to this like aftermarket head unit down here that's just kind of hanging here. It doesn't even work, so we're gonna go ahead and rip that out. There's also some like random wiring hanging up here leading back to this antenna, so we're just gonna get all that stuff out of there and get it cleaned up. And we're also gonna be changing the transmission and drivetrain oil as well as the air filter. Doing this goes a long way and shows the buyer that you took the extra time to get it ready to sell. We got all the parts laid out here. We got our oils over here, CV axle, a bunch of other stuff. I got this from Rocky Mountain ATV. I've linked them down in the description. You guys use that link, it'll really help my channel out, and you guys can pick up exactly what you're seeing me use in the video here. Let's jump into it. First, we're gonna go ahead and get both of these bumpers off and then set that front one aside. That way we can get it ready to paint. I've got my buddy Nate giving me a hand here. He knows these RZRs inside and out, so this is a huge help.
Oh yeah, drywall screws and everything.
Like I said earlier, these speakers and wiring was just an absolute mess, so we're just gonna get all this ripped out, cleaned up, and thrown away. I actually ended up having to drill and re-tap the mounting locations on this rock slider, but now it is stronger and more secure than ever. All right, let's move on to getting this CV axle replaced. This thing is in a lot better shape. All right, on to painting this front bumper. First, we're gonna go ahead and spray some of this vapor clean on here. This is a Blendzall product I really like. You guys can use any kind of brake clean or electrical contact cleaner to get rid of any of those oils and residues. And for painting it, I'm gonna be using this Rust-Oleum engine enamel. This is the only thing I had laying around that was red, and it actually is gonna match pretty well. So let's go ahead. We're gonna throw 2 coats on here, and this thing is gonna be looking awesome. I'm super happy how this thing came out. We got 2 coats on there. It looks really good. So we're gonna go ahead and get it mounted back up on the front. Able to save that front bash guard. We got it all straightened out, coat of black paint on here. This thing looks great. The last thing to tackle before giving this RZR a deep clean is to change the transmission, drive, and engine oil and throw in a new air filter. All right, now that we got everything wrapped up and addressed, let's give this thing a wash. This thing looks so much better now that we got it cleaned up, and it wasn't even that dirty to start. It took me hours and hours. I could have spent double the time. These things just take a long time to clean, but we're gonna finish it off with some SC1 clear coat. This really brings out the blacks and the plastic and the rubber, so we're just gonna pretty much spray this entire thing, the wheels, the tires, and this thing is gonna be looking like new before we get it ready to list for sale. Here it is. I think it turned out awesome and is going to make a great machine for the next buyer. The number one advice I can give you guys is to sell something that you would be comfortable buying yourself, and that is exactly what we did with this razor. Having this mindset is extremely important when buying and selling anything like this. Now that we've got it out in good lighting, a nice open and clear background, it's time to take some photos, write up a good description, and list it for sale. All right, here's my listing. Lots of good quality photos and a thorough description is the best way to get top dollar for your machine, so make sure you take the extra time to do so. I purchased it for $13,000, had less than $500 in parts in only 10 hours of my time, and we sold it for $16,500. That gives us a total profit of $3,016.45. This flip was so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see some of my other flips, make sure to check out these videos right here.